Hi to all fans around the world. Hi to all Gunners, enthusiasts around the world, and football lovers all alike. You are welcome to another edition of the Arsenal Alchemy. And today we're just going to round up on the just concluded match between us and our London rivals, West Ham. So before I proceed to the match analysis, I would like you to please touch the like button and do subscribe if you like this channel. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go delve right into the match analysis, which was overall the match. I'll call it a routine win for us. West Ham offered nothing whatsoever from the beginning of the game till the very end. They offered absolutely nothing. If anything, we fluffed a lot of chances. Eze was guilty of the most easy chance ever. And that came in the 5th minute. You could see we were trying to score an early goal because West Ham, of course, they deployed a very, very low block in this game, just as expected. And, it was very frustrating. We frustrated ourselves, not even West Ham. We were missing chances upon chances, and it's frustrating for me as an Arsenal fan. It's good to win, but it's also very important to win decisively. It's also very important to win emphatically. Take your chances, be composed in front of the post. I was surprised when Eze missed a very easy chance. It was more like a tap-in to me. All he had to do was just direct it on target, and it was a goal. And that would have settled the nerves in the early stages of the match. But lo and behold, guess what? The former West Ham captain, our record signing, the most reliable player we have on the pitch, Declan Rice, opened up the scoring in the 38th minute. There was just a lot of pressure. At a point for about 20 minutes, West Ham did not leave the halfway line towards out of their post. The whole 10, 11 men of West Ham were just behind the lines, defending for their lives. Calafiori came close. He hit a ball off of the post in the first half. There was so many close shaves. We're looking for the win. Even when we got the goal, we're looking for the second goal to secure the points. Because, of course, we know Liverpool plays Chelsea. In fact, they're playing Chelsea right now as I speak. I am hoping Chelsea, does us a favor by winning. Does us a favor and do a favor for themselves too. They need to win as well. They have drawn 2 straight games in the Premier League, so they are also desperate for a win. And that it will be a wonderful bounce back if they can win Liverpool, and that would just secure us at the top of the league. So now the second half, we went into the second half with the same momentum as the first half. There were a couple of handball shouts. Some of the West Ham players handled the ball. The second one in particular, I thought that was a stonewall penalty. But due to what happened last week against Newcastle, I didn't think this referee was going to give us a handball penalty. I didn't think so, even though the second one was a clear penalty. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Trossard to play the ball. The ball was in motion. And the ball, if he hadn't handled it, most probably would have dropped in for Victor Gyökeres, But his hand stopped it. They deemed it as accidental. And they deemed his hand position as natural. Okay, well, it's fine. Because we didn't worry about that so much, because in the 67th minute, Uren Timber was finally brought down by the very reliable El Diouf of West Ham. I think he's a very good defender. I think he's good. I watched him against Everton, and I was very, very impressed with him. But today he faced Bukayo Saka and Uren Timber. That is not an easy feat for any defender. So it was no wonder he... it was not a surprise that he heckled Uren Timber. He flew into a challenge. It was reckless. It was clumsy at the most. And though the contact started from outside the box, but Uren Timber, the tackle took him right into the box. And it was an obvious penalty. So we were like, who's going to take this penalty? Is it going to be Victor Gyökeres or Bukayo Saka? Now, the reason why Bukayo Saka took this penalty is because scoring that goal ensured that Bukayo Saka has 100 GAs in the Premier League. He has 100 GAs in the Premier League. In fact, he has 55 goals in the Premier League and 45 assists. That is a wonderful feat, and he is the second Englishman at his age to achieve this feat after Wayne Rooney. So it is a wonderful achievement for Bukayo Saka. Of course, he duly converted the penalty in the 67th minute. You could see what it meant to him. He was very happy. He was, this young man has really sweated blood for this club. We cannot overlook his effort, his the hard work he's put in right from when he made his debut. I think it was in 2019. Right from when he made his debut, 2018, I think. He's been a wonderful player for us. Don't forget, this guy started at left back. He wasn't even a striker. He wasn't an attacker. He just went from left back. He proved himself. Even from left back, he scored a lot of goals. He proved himself. Eventually, he was shipped to the right wing, where he has made his own for club and country. And this is just the Premier League. He has 100 goal contribution for the Premier League. That is fantastic, and he's still going. He's 24 years old. There's still so much to come from him. And I have no doubt he will be in Arsenal for a very, very long time. So he duly converted his spot kick, and from there, it was more of, you would expect West Ham to at least commit men forward. No, West Ham still stayed low. They still stayed compact at the back. That was, they were trying to do some damage limitation, if you put it that way. The coach, Nuno Espirito, was bringing in, he brought in one attacker. He took out Fulkrug and brought in another attacker. Then he brought in defensive midfielders and defenders. So I was like, wow, this man, look, he has even conceded. There was no fight. So that kind of made it easier for us, So I can't remember any single chance West Ham mustered in this game. I really can't remember. There were a couple of corners at the end of the game, but nothing really threatening. Nothing. We were on top of it. We were on top of it. I can't remember David Raya making any save. This was just a holiday weekend for him. He was just there. The truth is, if it wasn't at the post, West Ham still wouldn't score because you could call it a walk in the park. So yeah, I am very happy. We are on 16 points, and that was enough to take us to the top of the league. Well, at least for now, until after the Liverpool versus Chelsea game. I'm hoping Chelsea wins. I'm a Chelsea fan right now. You know I hate Chelsea, but I'm a Chelsea fan right now for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. I want Chelsea to win this game. I want them to win. Even if you can't win, because we have to respect Liverpool, at least don't lose the game. If you don't lose the game, we are sure of staying top of the league. If Liverpool draw, of course, they will be equal on points with us at 16 points. But because of our very, very impressive goals difference, it will ensure we stay at the top of the league. So now, the other thing I want to talk about is my dear, dear striker, Victor Gyökeres. This is, I think, the 6th game without a goal. It's beginning to worry me. I know all the games he hasn't scored, we've still won them, but it's beginning to worry me because you want your striker to score. You want your striker to be very confident, to grow in confidence. You want your striker to be feared in the Premier League. You want people to look at him with fear and, force them to make mistakes. Now, while he is a very, very marked man from the opponents, I see the way he's marked. There is always a player on Victor Gyökeres. Always. Today it was our former boy, Mavropanos. He man-marked Victor Gyökeres all through. But, there were some few chances. There were some few situations he could have done better. Gyökeres. And he didn't do it. And he needs to work on his ball control. His ball control has left, so much to be desired because you have played football at a top level. You are at a top club. You have the coaches helping you. The least you can do, even if you don't score, is to have a very good ball control. Then another thing he needs to work on is his movement around the box. Most times the players don't find him. You should make yourself available inside the box. A true striker, you see strikers that had absolutely no skill. Their only skill was scoring goals. You look at Filippo Inzaghi, you look at Oliver Bierhoff, you look at even Alan Shearer, the Premier League record goal scorer. He was not a skillful player, but he had movement. He was a fox in the box. If that ball is in the box, it gets to either feet, he's going to take the shot. Sometimes you have to surprise the keeper. This is what I want Gyökeres to do. It is very, very unacceptable that our striker hasn't scored in 6 games. And we've won all these games. And so it's getting me worried. It's getting me worried, especially when you check that Benjamin Sesko scored today for Manchester United. I'm not saying I would have traded him for Benjamin Sesko, but I can see he is very desperate. He needs to calm down. He needs to be relaxed, especially when he's in the box. He has a physical physique. Sometimes when he plays, he reminds me of Romelu Lukaku. You know, Romelu Lukaku is a bully on the pitch. Gyökeres can be Romelu Lukaku, and even better. Romelu Lukaku is just a right-footed player. Gyökeres is both legs. He's stronger. He's more intelligent. This guy was just awarded the best striker in the world award in the just concluded FIFA awards. Gyökeres is the best striker in the world, according to FIFA. He was given the award ahead of Mbappe, ahead of Dembele, ahead of all these marquee players. You are in a team where, we are very attack-minded. You have brilliant midfielders behind you. Gyökeres cannot say he's been starved of service. We saw the game against Olympiacos in midweek. He had a plethora of chances and he scoffed them all. This is unacceptable. I'm praying, part of my prayer before this game was, Lord, let Gyökeres score. Let this guy score, man. And today was in fact, the game against Olympiacos, he had a very good outing because he linked so well with the players around him. Today, he had no chance, probably because of the tactics of West Ham. They deployed a low block. They were defensive. Even when they were behind, they refused to commit men forward. They were, okay, look, let's just leave it at 2-0. We're going to take that back home. It's almost like they had conceded that, before this game that they were going to lose. Yes, nobody gave them a chance. But come on. When you're 2-0 down, what do you have to lose? Just commit men forward. Maybe you never know. You could get one. You get 2-1, and you can get the second one. They didn't even care. They just stayed back and did the damage limitation thing, and that was it. Even the striker they brought in was a 21-year-old was a 20-year-old under 21 player for West Ham. They didn't bring in Callum Wilson. They didn't bring him. You would think he's the one that we're going to bring in, but no. Nuno Espirito, Santos were like, no, leave it at 2-0. Leave it at 2-0. We're good with that. This is supposed to be a London derby. North London versus East London. They didn't even care. It didn't look like a London derby because West Ham they were bad in this game. The only thing they were good at was occasional defending. So, I'm not here to prop up West Ham. I'm here to congratulate my team. There were some sloppy plays, particularly from Leandro Trossard. Again, Trossard, I don't know why our coach likes to start Trossard. Really, I really don't understand it. Trossard is not a starter. Trossard is a game changer. He's one of the Mikel Arteta's finishers, people he deemed as finishers. You can see when he plays, he's easily dispossessed. He doesn't advance the ball forward. When he gets the ball, there's a man on him. He can't dribble. He has no speed. He has no pace. He just passes back. The only thing he's good at is shooting the ball when he has space. He's one of our best finishers, yes. But in a game like this, where there's a low block, you need pace. You need your pacey wingers. I thought Martinelli should have started this game, especially when Odegaard came off with an injury. I think it was a knock. He collided with one of the West Ham players on his knees. It was particularly very painful, and I think he'll be fine. He's just gonna shake it off, and I don't think it's anything serious. Um, I think he'll be fine in the next game. And the good thing is there's an international break. I hate international breaks, but it's all good. The players can rest. The players that don't play for international can rest. And, yeah, like I said, what can I say? It was a victory. We're top of the table. We're leading by goals difference. We've conceded 3 goals in 7 matches. Only one of the goals is from open play. That is impressive. That is super, super impressive. And we've scored about what? About 15 goals? That is super impressive. And with that, I'll come to the end of today's show. Like I said earlier, do like and subscribe to this channel so that we can give you better content, so that we can grow the channel better, and we can interact with you in the comment section. And for now, it's goodbye.